website aroundtenby.co.uk, and in their blog, I think on the 13th of September, they actually made some very nice comments about Pure West Radio as well. They said, "We are Pembrokeshire's radio station with heart, soul and a dash of cheeky banter. Gordon Thomas, they must have heard you on Pure West Sport on a Monday evening," I think. And that's what that's alluding to. Great to hear from Graham Brockway though, wasn't it? And what a top guest he is. I hope that goes well on the 5th of October. And some good reminiscing from you as well, Gord. I thought I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm an old codger now, Steve, and I can go back a long way. Too far from my memory to remember half of it, to be honest with you, but there we go.
You're doing okay. Plenty of goals, weren't there, in the football locally at the weekend. Let's go through it. Let's have a look at some of the matches. And really, we should start with that win for Clarbeston Road, because they needed to bounce back, didn't they? They shipped 8 at Hakin in the previous game, but Clarbeston Road 5, Monkton Swifts 4. That's just one of those scorelines that you see it and you can't quite believe it. There's some game that, right?
4-1 down?
Yeah, well, I was actually there, Ben. I saw the first half, 3-0 down at half-time.
Yeah.
Clarby pulled one back and I left. It was 3-1. Okay, so I looked again and it was 4-1. And I thought, Monkton got a nice comfortable win here. The last 15 minutes, Clarby tore the Swifts apart, to be fair. I think Ben Steele, I'm trying to save their grace a little bit. Ben Steele had to go off. I don't know whether he was injured or whatever, and he's their talisman. So, but I mean, the Laurie Howarth had 2 goals, Ben John, and Travis John scored. It was a 93rd minute winner to turn it around to 5-4. Unbelievable stuff.
You got to think from Clarby point of view.
Yeah,
you got to see if that will be the springboard from to kickstart their season, because we've been talking about their slow start and actually looked, and you look after 5 games, I actually lost once. I think it was just the nature of that defeat in Hakin to be 4-5-0 down so quickly was disappointing. After, like you pointed out, they'd done a double over them last year, and they did a couple of draws before that, one with Monkton actually, I believe, on the opening night of the season. So to come back from that and get 3 points out of that, now you wonder if that can be what they need to push on now.
And actually some character as well, because when you've just been thrashed the week before, to be 3-0 down, very easy for heads just to go down and say, here we go again, isn't it? So I think to come back from that after the week before is all the more impressive, really, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, they're side to fight, so they always have been.
Jack Clark as well scored the first 2 goals, and both of them were stunning strikes. The keeper had no chance of stopping them. It was, they were worldy strikes. And then they got the 3rd, and I should say they were coasting, absolutely coasting. But Matt Fox will be delighted that his team has reacted positively and they came back to win that. I mean, the Swifts will be sick. They will be, in control and lost.
Yeah. Okay, what else caught your eye then on Saturday?
Well, you checked the score with 10 minutes to go, and it looked a significant day in the title race, even at this early stage. Hakin comfortably up at Kilgetty. Goodwick 1-0 down in the closing stage at Tenby, who we'd spoken about as being joint top, and this was the test to see if they could live with the big boys. And Will Horworth 2 late goals, and Goodwick not firing, all the whispers coming, they're not playing as well as they could be, and yet they're finding a way, and that's what Goodwick do.
Yeah. Well, that's a sign of champions as well, Bryce. You're not playing well, but they still find a way to win. 84th minute equaliser. And a 91st or 92nd minute,
Smart
winner.
volley as well. The video was posted online, actually.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant from them.
Will Horworth twice.
Yeah, Hakin are playing some superb football. They come up a very physical, strong Kilgetty side on Saturday. They went behind after 5 minutes. To be fair, Lloyd Hughes put them ahead. But as we know, Scott is he's got his team running. Firing on all cylinders, and Stotter scored a cracking goal by all accounts as well. Walsh got another one, and I can't remember. There was somebody who had the opener, but they had 3-1's a good result at Kilgetty, and that, in my opinion, they're the team to watch this season. Hakin.
They go to Tenby on Saturday, which will be interesting. That's the way Tenby played against Goodwick.
Big game.
Yeah. Well, Tenby will be looking to bounce back from losing those 2 late goals against Goodwick, and for being officially ruled out of the title race last week by Gordon as well.
And a special mention for Scott Reed. He scored 4 goals against his former team. Herbrinston, who are struggling, and Milford United has done the double over them. So
and they're actually right up there in terms of that. I don't expect a title challenge from Milford United. Those words don't come back to haunt me, but they're an impressive start and certainly in no danger of battling the drop, which would have been their initial goal when they came up a couple of years ago.
Pleased about when we spoke to Andrew Burgoyne not so long ago is that they were they won't mind me saying it, they were a bit of a yo-yo side. They now consolidated that first division status and look comfortable playing at that level. They beat Kilgetty the week before as well. So, Milford United are doing very well. They'll be pleased down in Marble Hall.
Been a tricky start for St Ishmael's in the other game as well. But they went down narrowly this week, didn't they? They lost 2-1 at Pennar.
Unlike Herbie, they're not taking hidings. No. You think there'd be more hope for them than there is for Herbie if one of those two is going to build back the deficit and get out of trouble. But Dish aren't winning either, and they're losing narrowly, and it's no help now. They need to get points on the board. So you're right, they're competing well. It was only 2-1, but competing well isn't enough now. They need to start picking up things.
Yeah, okay. Worth to mention just a couple of results in Division 2 as well. Camrose topped the table and they had a big win. They won 7-1 at home to Laugharne, didn't they? So that's a huge win. Yeah, huge win to...
It's funny you say that, Ben, because I was at Sapphire Gardens on Friday, a bit of a part of my atmosphere and a few bus trips from the cricket clubs in Pembrokeshire. And as you know, clubs like Laugharne, cricket crosses over with football. And all I'm going to say... I'm not surprised to see Laugharne and Carew lose in football on Saturday. And if Pembroke Cricket Club had a football team as well, there was the way they were winning anything either. So so a lot of buses up from Pembrokeshire, and they all were having a good time. We'll put it that way.
Oh, Fraser just getting some players in trouble there, I think. Yeah. Laugharne are still celebrating, aren't they? The celebrations haven't stopped.
Who can blame them anyway? They deserve it.
Yeah. Okay. So good to see. Camrose topping the table. Fishguard are in third spot. They had a 5-0 win over Carew. Narberth a second as well. One game in Pembrokeshire, they didn't have many goals. They had a narrow 1-0 win against Johnson. So in Division 2 as well, still looking quite interesting at this early stage of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd expect, obviously, haven't come down. Fishguard
they should be strong enough
to be up there again. Monkton second's good side. They won the league last year, and of course you've got Narberth, who are beginning to rebuild and strengthen.
And also a special mention for Neyland. They beat Hakin seconds 2-0 at the Obs. Sean Hannon scoring for the second successive week. He hasn't done that since the start of his career.
He's dropped down a second tier. Oh no, he's dropped down a second tier. That's why. I was going to say second team. Then not quite.
Okay, and how about Broadhaven's Tom Dyer? Were you in action at the weekend?
I was not in action. I was covering the UK water ski racing in Neyland. So alas, I probably would have made the difference, of course.
How did they get on, Tom? Do we...
Yeah.
I think so.
So the results, it didn't go our way. I think it was 3-1 in the end. We were away to Merlins Bridge, seconds in Division 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think you would have made all the difference, actually. They were clearly missing. So. You play left back, Tom, do you? Do you play left back?
I play left back, yes.
Yeah, clearly they weren't balanced at the weekend, but like England
left back in the changing room.
It used to be like that.
Yeah, all running the line.
Yeah. I'm no good at that either. We found out last week.
Okay, so good stuff. And we'll talk about Haverford County as well in the final part of the show, because they were in action at the weekend and play tomorrow in the Cup. But let's just skip to rugby, shall we? And it's been a funny start, actually, across the divisions, because we've had some divisions not playing, some playing at the start of the season. Should we just say Crymych, they were in action, weren't they, in the Championship West? Last week we had Narberth losing by a single point, and it happened to Crymych, didn't it, at the weekend? Away to Solicitors, they lost 32-31, which is just agonising, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough place to go. I've been there myself. It's just, pitch in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by mountains, and then, they've come away from there with a win. Would have been a tremendous result for them. So we're disappointed with that. But again, every sign is they'll be competing in that division again this year and be absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly, and they did well, and we actually featured them quite a bit, didn't we, on the show last season.
Neyland had a good win against Langdon at Pill Parks, and
Mark James start the show.
That's good. And Pembroke Dock beat the close neighbours Pembroke at Beerspool, so that's a good scalp for the Dock, and I believe Craig Barnett and his father Steve Barnett are on part of the coaching staff.
Right, and Barney playing as well, I believe.
Yeah, okay. And there was also a local derby as well in Division 2 that we mentioned last week. That was Whitland against Laugharne, wasn't it? And we said it would be a belting game.
Quite a quiet affair.
I was going to say
there were some scenes to end it.
I did see it,
and in the olden days it used to be whispers, and these days it's videos and social media, and they have been doing the rounds. And all I can say is there may be repercussions, but historic win for Laugharne, really. It's been years since Whitland and Laugharne have been in the same division, and then to go to Park Lointy, Gwyn and win.
Strange seeing Nico Satara score so many points.
For Laugharne, yeah, I wondered how that one went. No wonder there was post-match reaction. But yeah, a lot of players who played for each other's clubs actually up against each other, and a dramatic affair. Laugharne winning it late on, and a feisty one as well.
It was a feisty one. Very feisty.
And also, the Dock Pembroke game, there were cards dished out in the warm-up, I believe, as well.
I had heard that. I've never heard of that before.
In the warm-up?
In the warm-up, yeah. Whether they were stretching too close to each other. But hell broke loose. So, rugby's back, and teams are committed. We can't complain about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of cards in a local rugby game being dished out in the pre-match.
You have now.
Yeah. Have now. If anyone can shed any light on that, do give us a comment on the page.
Win at Milford,
that was a big win. Yeah, it was a big win.
Yeah, just to say that Laugharne-Whitland game that ended 32-27. But Fishguard at Milford going there and winning a huge win, 53 points to 12 they won, didn't they? And that is a massive win.
I'm not sure, but didn't they play each other in the Pembroke?
And it was tight.
And it went right down to the wire.
A great start for Fishguard. We've got a young setup this year as well.
They have. Yeah, they've got some good boys there.
And did your ground hopping take in any rugby, Gordon, at the weekend?
No, it didn't. I stayed at Clarbeston. You can see why now. I stayed at Clarbeston Road. It was a good game of football.
Safer by all accounts.
And it was safer. Yeah.
Okay, well done to Jasmine Joyce, who is in the Wales women's squad, isn't she? She's
George as well.
Yes, indeed. Double call up. So well done to the two of them. And as you say, good to have rugby back. And how do the fixtures look now for the next few weeks? It has been a bit of a mixed start with not games on both consecutive Saturdays. Are we getting into a period now where they play on the same day now?
It should be regular now until the autumn internationals, isn't it, in November? So we should have a bit of rugby now, Ben. A bit of consistency.
And then it's all messed up again for 5 weeks. But...
Yeah.
Because of the autumn games. Yeah, just when we get that bit of flow. All right, we're going to come back for the final part of tonight's show in just a few moments. We're going to look ahead to Ironman, which is coming up at the weekend. We'll talk about Haverfordwest County, who were beaten at the weekend and play again tomorrow. And we'll round up a few more of the sporting stories. I'm sure Gordon might make a comment about the North London derby yesterday as well, because he was winding me up off air about that. So we'll do that before the end of tonight's Pure West Sport.
The power of radio. Bad weather at the racetrack.